But we got another big show coming up, bro. It's not going to be on HBO. It's going to be on Amazon Prime, my brother. Amazon Prime. Y'all see the background. You see the banner. Talking about this, the Lord of the Rings of Power. Seventh topic of the day. Lamont, these reactions are out, bro. The Rings of Power first reaction praise Lord of the Rings series as big, bold, and beautiful. And yes, I love to hear it. I love to hear it. I almost called you Eman. I'm tripping. Lamont, I'm so excited. But let's get into this right here. The Lord of the Rings of Power, Amazon Studios' ambitious fantasy series based on the works of author J.R.R. Tolkien and reported the most expensive television series ever made, premieres this week, September 2nd on Amazon Prime. But as the social media embargo lifts, critics and fans who have seen the first 2 episodes ahead of time are flocking to Twitter to share their opinions on the highly anticipated series. Eric Francisco, senior film and TV writer at Universe, hailed Rings of Power as big, bold, and beautiful, but indicated uncertainty as to whether the prequel series will sit alongside Peter Jackson's film, The Trilogy, or deserve Tolkien's name. For now, it's all maximalist pizzazz one might expect from a historically expensive production, he wrote. That's interesting. He's like, basically, don't believe the hype. But I've seen Rings of Power, and I can say for certain you're in for a treat. Big, bold, and beautiful. To be determined if it's alongside Jackson's films or deserves Tolkien's name. But for now, it's all maximalist pizzazz one might expect. And I just read that. Another one. Okay, the first 2 episodes of Lord of the Rings of Power are spectacular. Sight to behold, the scale, scope, ambition, and grandiosity is unraveled on TV. It also has the laborious task of introducing so much necessary world building that it takes a bit to set flight. And I'm going to read one more real quick. Rings of Power is a cinematic experience. In a perfect world, we will watch it on the big screen. It's pure Tolkien and yet feels very connected to Peter Jackson's movies. The FX are brilliant. The acting is superb. And the prologue itself will destroy any awful feelings you had. Guys, if you want to continue to reading on, you can, because there's a link to that in the description box below. But Lamont, like, after hearing all this, man, like, what are you thinking about this series, man? Does this get you more hype? Does it scare you? Was you looking forward to this to begin with, bro? Tell us how you feeling, man. Tell us how you feeling.
B, my world is just torn up because I watched the trailer and everything they said about the visuals. It looks immaculate, B. I mean, it looks great. And you can tell that they actually had somebody in the diversity department saying, we need to sprinkle some African Americans up in this joint because there's a lot of them that enjoy mythical fantasy rings. They knew and used a great blueprint with what they've seen from Game of Thrones. And me and my wife love this type of stuff. I get hyped for it. I even just break out some days talking to my wife in old English. Douse the crystal of Taft and shit like that, B.A. I'd be doing that and trying to make her laugh. So I'm here for it, but I'm very nervous to watch it, B.A. I'm not going to lie, because I haven't been into The Lord of the Rings since the movies was out, and I was in college when these movies came out. So I'm a little intimidated of jumping back into this lore from this point and possibly trying to get up here and give someone an entertaining, informed review. But B. Avery, I'm going head first, man, because I've liked what I've seen. I've liked what I've been reading. So I'm here for it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I forgot to grab something for this. I will be back in 15 seconds. Just 1 second. 1 second.
So everybody that's listening and watching us, how are you guys feeling about this? They spent $1 billion, Amazon did, to make this thing pop. And if you watch the trailers, it looks great. And if you got 4K, it looks great. If you got 720p, it looks great. But Amazon broke the bank to make this series look good. And I want to know how it compares when you guys have watched it. How does it compare for you to the Lord of the Rings, to the Game of Thrones and House of Dragons?
Thank you for your patience. Just want to let y'all know it is not smart to run up your stairs when the lights are out. But I am back, and I had to grab this right here, man. I got the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, man.
Blu-ray special extended edition.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Had the geek out right here. The gold case, yes.
He spent money for that, y'all. That gold case was very expensive.
I spent a pretty penny on this right here, man. I'm gonna show this thing off as much as I can, baby.
Hey, I got man, it right that need to be in all your reviews. You need to put that in every review. Every review you do of that, you need to put that up in there.
Yeah. I remember when I started collecting this stuff a long time ago. You buying all that stuff? You don't have nowhere to put it lately, or eventually. Well, hey, I foresaw a future and knew that I was gonna be able to have a movie news roundup show and show it off to everybody. But no, man, I hearing all this, it does get me very, very excited. It does.
Okay.
It does. And I'm a big fan of the Lord of the Rings. When I remember when it first dropped when I was in high school, I was in love immediately. Now, the Hobbit trilogy, the prequel to it, I didn't care for as much. It wasn't bad, it wasn't trash, but it just wasn't as good. Why am I dealing with this? It just wasn't as good. One of my criticisms is I don't even own. No, I own one Hobbit film. I didn't even grab it. I forgot to grab it. That shows how much I cared about it. But one of my criticisms of the Hobbit films is it was too much CGI. Now that may sound silly. Too much CGI, Brandon. Pretty much every movie and production, television movies in today or in the past 20 years has had CGI. Yes. But it was blatantly obvious that it was CGI, and also it was obvious that in Lord of the Rings things were more practical, and the way they built their sets and their costumes and the backdrop and stuff like that. I mean, a movie or a TV show can be 100% CGI if it looks real, and that's just not the case with the Hobbit trilogy. But Lamont, my brother, I don't mean to sound obnoxious or anything like that. Yeah, but I do agree with one of this last gentleman here about the first two episodes. I haven't seen the first two. I've seen the first one, and I've seen about 20 minutes of the second episode. Okay, and Lamont, people in the chat, goddamn. When they told you that this is the most expensive television show in history, it shows. This was beautiful.
So I was right about the way the trailer looked, and it must have only got better. Tell me it just got better.
It looks beautiful. It looks real. I like I'm not exaggerating. You got every shade of color. Yeah, the whole spectrum of color, rainbow, the browns, the greens, the pinks. It just looks beautiful, and you are just like you're engulfed in this world, bro. Middle Earth. And I guess this is my reaction right here. It was an experience, man. It was an experience. And I'm not going to spoil anything. I'll just say that we know that this takes place 2,000 years before the Lord of the Rings, and of course there's no male characters. Men can't live 2,000 years, but elves do, and so you do get to see some elves in their younger version, their younger selves, and that's dope. I was easily able to connect everything from the older. From the newer, the Lord of the Rings, from the Rings of Power, so that's cool right there. But I did see some people of color in there as well from the trailers. I saw a black Hobbit, I saw a black and brown elf, and they look good, man. They look good. Now, I'm loving this stuff. I don't want to talk about no story or plot or nothing like that and getting all that. But just as far as it looks and the money that they spent on this, bro, I'm just thinking about one scene when they were just showing some rocks and some pebbles, like a castle. It was detailed, man. It looked amazing. So at the very least, you're going to be visually blown away. At the very least, I won't get into any more, but you're gonna be happy as far as at least visuals. I don't want to say nothing else, but
I'm sold. I mean, like one of the things I do well, Avery, I'm great at picking stuff apart in trailers. And the one thing that just stood out to me with the trailer was just how visually awestruck that thing. It almost looked 3D when they had the fire in the background. I mean, that trailer just was beautiful. And I said to myself, that's just the trailer. That's just the trailer looking like that. I can only imagine what the show is going to look like. And that's when I learned that they had spent all this money, over $1 billion, to make this show pop. So I'm diving in, B. Avery. I'm just diving in. I'm gonna learn as much as I can, and I'm throwing some reviews up here because it just looks too good.
Already. Yeah, man. I'm gonna be covering this too. So that's my reaction. I'm gonna do another tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up early and try to finish episode 2 before I gotta get going. And I will have some reaction videos as well. But it looks great, guys. It looks great. It looks great. And so, and again, if you want to read the rest of those reactions, there's a link down to this in the description box below for you to read at your own leisure.
May I ask you a question?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Who's the lady with the sword that's like they keep showing as like one of the main characters?
Right here.
Are we? Yeah, we allowed to ask you that?
This is Galadriel.
Okay.
She's an elf. She was in the Fellowship of the Rings as Cate Blanchett.
Oh, okay.
And she was powerful. She was wise, and sometimes she would like power up, and the screen would change behind her. Like I don't even know how to describe it, but yeah, this is they're the same character. She's playing the same person as Cate Blanchett, just thousands of years younger.
Okay.
So, and she's still smart. She's still cold, but she's not as well. I don't want to say too much, but they're the same person.
You good. You good.
Yeah.
I get where you're going. Okay, I appreciate that, homie.
No problem, man. No problem. No problemo.